Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Today we're looking at Hut 8 Corp. The big question is it a good time to buy now?
We want to hear from you. Subscribe, like, and comment to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis. Hut 8.
Yeah, it's been definitely one of the most talked about names lately. Infrastructure, crypto. It's really moving.
Moving is an understatement. It's sprinting.
Right. And the technical story alone, I mean, it's enough to grab headlines, but we need to figure out if this momentum, if it's built on something solid.
Exactly. I'm looking at the charts here, and yeah, they are screaming bullish. Pretty loud, actually. If you just look at October, I mean, the stock price basically went vertical. It was up, 8 out of 10 trading days?
Yeah, something like that. Massive gain.
A massive 32.91% gain in just 2 weeks. It hit $46.36. Then, as of when we pulled the data, it's holding up around $51.44.
And when you see a rally that's sustained, that feels like more than just retail hype, right? It suggests maybe some serious institutional interest kicking in.
Oh, definitely. That sustained move, it confirms a really powerful trend. But the bigger picture, the long game, HT is up, 136% year to date?
Yeah.
It's pretty astonishing.
Incredible.
And for anyone looking at the technicals, the moving averages tell a story too. The current price is just miles above the 50-day average.
Right.
That's down at $35.18.
Right.
And the 200-day, way down at $21.85.
Wow.
That massive gap, that separation, that's like textbook confirmation of a really strong, established bull trend.
And what's really interesting technically is that it managed to hold support around $48, even after that huge one-up.
Right, that's key.
It suggests buyers are stepping in on dips, keeping the momentum from just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, preventing collapse.
Yeah.
But we do need to talk about the volatility. It's not a smooth ride.
Not at all. We saw some massive swings earlier in October, didn't we? Especially around that options quadruple witching thing.
Oh, yeah. Quad witching. Always messy. For anyone listening, that's when 4 different kinds of options and futures expire all at once.
Causes chaos.
Total chaos, yeah. Huge volatility. And for Hut, the performance projections were just, all over the place, swinging from minus 59% to plus 3.5% in a really short time.
Whoa.
Yeah. It tells you there's huge short interest, lots of institutional options trading, and just really polarized views. Is it a rocket ship or just pure speculation? The market hasn't quite decided.
And that's kind of the core question we're digging into, isn't it? How did this volatile crypto miner suddenly become this hot dual threat energy and AI infrastructure play?
Exactly. That's the transition we need to unpack. It takes us away from just the charts and, deep into the fundamentals.
Okay.
Because what's really fascinating is why big money seems willing to stomach that volatility. We're talking, almost 14% monthly swings?
Yeah, pretty high.
It really boils down to the fundamental shift in the business itself. Yeah. The growth numbers we're seeing, they're not just good. They're like paradigm shifting.
Okay, let's hit those numbers then. Because that earnings jump, it's almost hard to believe.
It really is. So in 2024, Hut 8 reported net earnings of $331.88 million.
Okay.
Now, get this. That's a 1,419% increase year over year.
1,419%.
Yep. 1,419. That kind of jump. It's not just riding the Bitcoin wave. It suggests something deeper, like really smart operations, maybe some acquisitions, amplifying profits way beyond just, crypto prices.
Right. 1,419%. That completely reframes the company. And okay, earnings are the star, but revenue's strong too.
Very strong.
Yeah.
$162.39 million in 2024. That's up 69% from 2023.
Nice. 69% top line, while that happens on the bottom line.
Exactly. They boosted the top line significantly, but got massive leverage on the bottom line. Shows really good margins, probably helped by getting bigger and more efficient.
Which leads us straight to the strategy, right? The pivot under the new CEO, Asher Janut.
Right. He's explicitly reframing Hut 8, moving it away from just being a crypto miner. He calls it a flexible call option.
Flexible call option.
Okay. Meaning?
Meaning it benefits from 2 huge trends at once. AI and high-performance computing. Let's just call that HPC in crypto.
Ah, okay. So it's a way to, de-risk from just Bitcoin prices while grabbing those potentially higher margins in the data center world.
Precisely. HPC, that high-performance computing, that's the stuff needed for, training big AI models, complex simulations. That's where the premium pricing is, much more than standard crypto mining.
Gotcha. And that flexibility, that's their edge, their moat.
It's becoming their main moat, yeah. What really sets them apart is their grip on the infrastructure, specifically power.
Power. Okay.
They control 1,530 megawatts MW of power infrastructure that's currently being developed.
1,530 megawatts. That sounds like a lot.
It is enormous, like more than many small cities use, and that's the largest pipeline in North America, specifically targeted for crypto, HPC, and AI data centers.
So owning that much power capacity, what does that actually mean for someone investing? It means a huge barrier to entry for competitors. They're vertically integrated. They handle the power, the physical buildings, and the computing hardware.
Okay.
So imagine demand for AI training suddenly spikes. They don't have to wait years for permits or land. They can, theoretically, just flick a switch. Redirect power from mining, which might have lower margins at that moment, to higher margin HPC clients.
That agility sounds incredibly valuable, especially now with everyone scrambling for AI power.
It is. So if Bitcoin dips, maybe they push more power to AI clients. If Bitcoin moons, maybe more goes to mining. It's like managing a portfolio of energy use.
A portfolio approach to megawatts. I like it. And this isn't just future plans, right? Their financials support this. The sources mentioned a healthy balance sheet, not much long-term debt.
That's right. Pretty healthy financially.
Yeah.
Low material, long-term debt. And this ties into their financing. They recently got a $200 million revolving credit facility.
Okay, that helps fund the expansion.
Exactly. But the interesting bit is the terms. It's backed by their Bitcoin holdings at a 7.99% interest rate.
7.99% backed by Bitcoin. Given how volatile crypto is, that sounds kind of pricey, maybe risky. Did the sources talk about that collateral risk?
It's seen more as a calculated cost. It lets them get cash fast for building stuff without selling your Bitcoin stash, which they see as a core asset.
Right, they want to hold on to the Bitcoin.
Exactly. So 7.99% reflects the, slightly unusual collateral. But the fact they got the loan suggests lenders trust the underlying business and its cash flow, not just the crypto value. That financial health is what lets them tackle this complex AI pivot.
Okay, so strong fundamentals, strategic pivot.
Right.
That explains the why. What are the market signals saying now? Wall Street buying this story.
Oh, yeah. Conviction seems really high. We're seeing, 14 to 20 analysts rating Hut 8 either a strong buy or a buy.
Wow, that's pretty consistent.
Very consistent across the board. That's noteworthy.
And the price targets must be reflecting this shift, too. They're not pricing it like just a miner anymore.
No, definitely not. The target raises are aggressive. And they're explicitly linked to valuing that big power pipeline, that 15,530 millidoe, and the move into high-margin AI compute.
Okay, like what kind of numbers are we seeing?
Well, Benchmark raised their target to $78.
$78, okay.
Piper Sandler, $74. Citizens, $65.
So these analysts think there's still significant upside, like 30–50% from where it is now.
That's what those targets imply, yeah. Fueled by the belief they can capture those premium HPC margins.
And it's not just organic growth driving this, right? There was M&A activity too?
Right. Good point. Strategic consolidation.
Yeah.
Hut 8 subsidiary, American Bitcoin Corp, merged with Griffin Digital Mining.
Okay, what did that achieve?
Well, Hut 8 ended up controlling 98% of Griffin. It seems like an aggressive move to grab market share, specific assets, maybe expertise, basically things they needed to scale up that vertically integrated model faster.
Makes sense. In this AI infrastructure race, scale is probably everything.
Absolutely. Scale and efficiency.
Yeah.
Which brings us to institutional money. Are the big funds buying in?
Yeah, what are the flows looking like?
The reports show consistent institutional inflows. And maybe just as important, you're seeing new coverage started by major Wall Street brokers.
Ah, new coverage. That often means they think a stock is moving from like a niche play to something more mainstream, right?
Exactly. It signals strong internal conviction.
Yeah.
And then there's the persistent rumor mill chatter about potential AI data center deals.
Yep.
Specifically with U.S. hyperscalers.
Hyperscalers. So we're talking the giants, like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud.
Those are the ones. Landing a big contract with any of them to supply HPC capacity, that would be huge validation.
Instantly validate the whole strategy. And rumors suggest maybe Q4 for an announcement.
That's the chatter. Could be Q4. If they prove they can execute and land a top-tier customer, well, the ceiling for the stock goes way up.
Okay, which leads us perfectly into upcoming events, catalysts, things for investors to watch.
Right. The next 3 months look pretty packed. Given that high volatility, that nearly 14% monthly swing,
Yep.
momentum traders are definitely going to be watching these dates closely.
Okay, let's run through the calendar then. What should people keep an eye on?
First up, November 15th, that's the Q3 2025 earnings release.
Key date. First big update since some restructuring. We'll see how operations are performing, maybe get hints on that revenue mix shifting towards HPC.
Exactly. Then, around December 1st, watch for ETF sector rebalancing.
Ah, index funds adjusting. If ETFs focused on infrastructure or AI start adding or increasing weight in HUT 8 because of its diversification.
That forces institutional buying, creates automatic demand, and likely volatility.
Okay, what's next?
Into the new year, January 5th, 2026. That's when public institutional buy disclosures come out.
So we get to see which big funds bought in during Q4, like looking over their shoulders?
Pretty much. Then fast forward to around Valentine's Day, February 14th. That's the preliminary Q4 2025 earnings preview, a first peek at the year-end numbers.
Got it. So those are the scheduled financial dates. What about the more speculative stuff driving the rumors?
Well, the M&A chatter is constant. Talk of more industry consolidation, and everyone's waiting for maybe a big announcement on expanding their mining hash rate or perhaps a strategic energy deal, given all that power infrastructure.
Makes sense. But okay, we've been pretty bullish. We have to cover the other side too, the risks.
Absolutely. Got to stay balanced. The thesis is strong, but there are real measurable risks here.
Number one has to be Bitcoin itself.
Right. Unavoidable. Even with the AI pivot, they still mine crypto. They still hold a ton of Bitcoin. If the crypto market tanks, it's going to hit their valuation no matter how well the HPC side does.
Okay. Unavoidable crypto exposure. What else?
The second big one, maybe the biggest, is execution risk.
Meaning, can they actually pull off this complex transition?
Exactly. Going from just mining to running this massive integrated data center and power operation, it's hard. Building out that 1,530 milliW pipeline, getting the right AI hardware, actually landing those big hyperscaler deals, lots of places things could get delayed or cost more than expected.
Complex execution. Makes sense. Anything else?
And then there's just general regulatory uncertainty around crypto, obviously, but also increasingly around the huge power demands of data centers.
Right. Regulations could hit either side of their business.
Could, yeah. Even though they've diversified, regulatory headwinds are always a background risk.
Okay. So pulling it all together, how does the overall picture look for you, the potential investor? The sources gave it a rating, right?
They did. An extremely high 9 out of 10 bullish rating.
9 out of 10. Wow.
Yeah. The rationale is pretty clear. You've got proven growth, that unique infrastructure advantage creating a moat, and a whole bunch of near-term catalysts that could turn speculation into real validated contracts.
And that dual nature seems key. They've hedged away from being just a crypto miner, but they still keep the upside from both crypto and this booming AI infrastructure demand. It's a really clever strategic spot to be in.
It really is. It makes a compelling case, potentially, for both short-term traders playing those events and maybe longer-term investors looking to capture that dominance in energy and compute.
So, as a final thought for you to chew on, there's this rumor, unconfirmed but definitely out there, about HUT 8's plan for its huge Bitcoin treasury. Over 10,000 Bitcoin.
Right, the 10,264 BTC number.
How they decide to use that war chest, whether it's for more M&A, speeding up infrastructure build-out, maybe some kind of lending, whatever they do could seriously signal their confidence and maybe shape their growth path. Think about what a big strategic move with that Bitcoin might tell the market about where they're really headed.